Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Chronicon. My name is Wilfred. So this is a very short video guide on the transmutation. Now the transmutation has quite a number of recipes that they do not tell you what it does. So spoiler alert, if you would like to discover your own recipe, please do not watch further. However, if you just want to know what you need to do for each of the recipes, then you are at the right video. All right. Now this is version 0.98.0. So as the patches increases, I'm pretty sure that there will be more recipe added in, and I'll make another video on that one. So this video is just to talk about the transmutation. Now just before I get there, this game is a very interesting game whereby there's a lot of like crafting options to it. So I'm not going to cover everything at this video here. I'll do another video on the enchanting as well, which I find it is also very interesting. Now transmutation is very much like if you play Diablo 3, the Kanai cube. So it's a similar concept. I don't know which one came first because this game has been around for quite some time as well. Now this transmutation is that there are altogether quite a number of recipes here, and I'm going to show you what you can do with each one. So the first two is rather straightforward. So you can upgrade the health potion as well as the mana potion. So initially, if you take a look at the health potion is 3000 health, so you can put there and then you can just transmute them into like like 5000, right? So that is one option. Another option is to mana potion as well. So this 1000 mana, so you can do a transmute it into say like 1500 kind of like mana, so it does increase for quite a fair bit. And by the way, if you do have the health injection as well as the mana injection items, I mean the true legendary one, you could upgrade those items using this method as well, but use the sublime mana potion with the mana injection items, and with the health injection items you use the sublime health potion as well. Just chuck it into the machine here. All right, so that is one. Some of these are secret recipe. So another one is that you could generate a random unique by consuming 3 unique there. So you put three unique items, the pink one, and then you hit the button and then give you a random one. So in the event whereby you are farming for a particular unique but you don't really have it, and then you can just keep generating a random one using the SS one that you do not need. All right. Another one is the random legendary as well. So same thing as unique, 3 items inside. Legendary is a red item, so it always gives you a legendary out from a random one. So in the event whereby you are again hunting for a slot of the legendary that doesn't drop, you can just keep randomizing it. I think there was something like that in Marvel Heroes in the past. Can't remember. Another thing is that as you level up, you could actually boost the item level. Like for example, you started off with maybe you hit the level cap and you have a level 89 items that you like, unique or legendary. You can put a random level cap legendary there. Then what they do is that they consume the high level items, then boost the low level items up to the max, kind of like what your high level item is. So you could for example, as you level up or as you hit the level cap, you have got a lower level legendary that you really like because it kind of makes sense for a build, and you got another legendary that you probably do not need, then you can use that legendary to boost the level of the lower level legendary. That's what it does. Now another one that's very interesting is the spell codex. Now this one is an end game recipe. Now if you play this game, you know that you can use scroll, and scroll has different ability, and sometimes it is where you can do a little bit of multi-classing. Now what I mean by that is that for example, you can play a Templar or whatever that you can deal say fire damage, but then there are some gear that would proc, say if you do frost damage, then your fire damage get buff and vice versa. So if your class doesn't have it, what happens? You could actually use some scroll to make it happen, but scroll is consumable, so you use it, consumed. You can't really keep using it. So what happened is that if you get like like 50 of them, you could use something called a spell codex to convert that 50 stacks of scroll into a permanent one. Now the only thing is that it's kind of hard to get that many kind of scroll, the only way is to go to a tarot to do a little bit of gambling, and just keep buying scroll. And I got like, you know, I've got tons of scroll, and in time to come. And this game is really for completionists because there's quite a lot of scroll, maybe like 20 or 30 of them, and yet ideally you could convert all this scroll into a permanent kind of like a valuable, like this one here. I have this codex of lay trap, which used to be a scroll but converted into a permanent item. And with that, I could put into my hotbar and use it as a skill as well. So I could use skill that other classes use that I don't use, and and make it more interesting. So in this demo, I'm going to convert the spring, because I think my character doesn't really have a lot of spring kind of like, you know, you see that it kind of work a little bit slow. So I think maybe, I don't know, could be quite interesting to do it. So I'm going to just give it a shot and see what I get from it. I could actually do a scroll of spring here. I can sprint. I can do a codex. By the way, this is very rare. I mean, you can play hours. You only drop like 1 or 2 kind of thing. It's really, really rare. So I'm going to give it a shot anyway. So what it means is that now I create a scroll of codex of spring here. So I don't need to use a scroll anymore. I could just keep using this one into this item here. So what it does is that, let me see. Yeah, so this one make me move faster, I guess. All right, that's cool. I think I can deal with it. Yeah. So you could you know, this one. By the way, it trigger both at the same time. So you know, I can lay trap, I can spring, and you know, kind of thing. So it's interesting. I don't need to use a scroll. I can use a codex, so they become permanent kind of scroll that you have. And by the way, you could have the you know, the returning scroll as well. I think if you still farming for something, and then you could, you know, go back and then sell off stuff and, you know, go back to the place again to keep killing monsters. Although you can't do it in the anomaly, but that is yet another opportunity for you to convert that returning scroll into a codex. All right, so that's one of them. And then the next one, let's take a look at that. After that, you have the unlock enchant. So now if I'll do another video on enchanting. The enchanting is very interesting. Just imagine if you could play a Diablo 3 whereby you can have total control of all the affixes, almost like Path of Exile. If you play crafting over there, you could fix some kind of like you know, affixes and try to roll some affixes kind of thing. It's fully like flexible here. It's very, very interesting. Now what happened is that you know, as you re-roll some of the affixes, you want to lock some of them and then scramble in another one. So for example, you're looking for you know, say I don't want thorns at this instance, so I lock my health, lock my, you know, damage, maybe I lock my cooldown reduction, I scramble until I get a thorn, and then it works something like that. You can scramble a lot of things. And so in the event whereby you lock everything and you change your mind and say, oh, maybe I should not have so much thorns, or I should not have that much cooldown reduction because it's way too much, and I already have like cooldown reduction from my mastery or from my passive and whatnot. You want to change my mind? Yes, you can. So what you can do is to use this method here. You dump 25 keys together with the item, and then you unlock all the affixes. So you can do you can lock back whatever you want, you can scramble whatever you want. I'll do another video on enchanting. So that is where you can unlock all the affixes and do the crafting again. So it's very, very interesting. Another one is that the empowering legendary is very, very interesting as well. So there are some legendary called the true legendary. So this is called the true legendary. So how this game works is that you have the pink item, which is unique, and then after that you can have the legendary, which is something like these are all legendary, by the way. And then you have something called true legendary, which is like a bit orange one here. Now what if you got an item that is not true legendary, but you want to upgrade them? It's almost like when you play Diablo 3, you looted an legendary, and the ancient version never comes. And what's going to happen? Now in this game, you could upgrade them as well. So it's pretty cool. So all you need to do, just chuck in your legendary item. Then after that, put in a true legendary item that will be consumed, of course. Must be the same item type as well. So boots to boot, accessory to accessory, weapon to weapon. And then after that, you put in 20 champion crowns. Champion crowns are the one that looks something like the like this one here, that drop when you are doing like rifting in this game. And then you can actually upgrade your gear. they call it empower. So you look at my gear here, it's called empowered legendary helm. So that is very interesting, right? So do it, it's very nice. You just need to put in the true legendary that you don't need, then you can upgrade into it. So for example, I could, and I'm not going to because it's not really a gear that I want at the moment, I could use use this item here, for example, to scale up this guy, so I can make it into a true legendary version. Now what it does is that it doesn't change the affixes that you have, but it changes the base kind of like stats like health, mana and damage will get scaled up to be a true legendary kind of level, right? So that's very interesting. Now that go without saying, another one is a set items conversion. So for example, you can have a set item. I'm using a set called the Aila, and I've used this recipe as well. So what happened is that, well, you got one item, you got two items, you got duplicator items. So what we're going to do with the duplicator one, well, just like Diablo 3, you could convert that into another set items, and it's just by random. So you generally need to chuck in 30 champion crown as well as your set item of any quality. Then you go and churn out from there and get a different item from the same set as well. So that is rather interesting. The next one is the sphere socket, the cube socket, and the star socket. Now again, this is probably another video I'm going to go in, but when it comes to the dam, in D3 you have a few dams, but that's about it. But in this game, the dams are really have a lot of different affixes to it. You can actually build the whole entire kind of things around it. So it's really interesting. Now what happened is that, imagine in Diablo 3, you can't really add dam. You can only use a gift to the weapon, and that's all you can do. But in this game, you can add dams, one type of dam, like this type of dam, in a prismatic dam into any item. So you can actually add another dam to here, another dam to here, and you can have quite a lot of dams, like 8 of them, and plus you can have different kind of variety to slot that in to give you the kind of build that you want. So that is also yet another very, very interesting kind of recipe that I use. The reason why I don't use it right now is that I don't really necessarily need the sphere right now. I'm hunting for either square or the star for my build. But yeah, I mean, just for your information, that's what you can do as well, to add one slot to any one of them. All right, so that is one. Now so these are all three of them, 3 shape. Now the next one is to apply lesser rune as well as the greater rune. Now this game is very, very interesting in the sense that, just imagine Diablo 3. You can have Kanai cube, and you have 3 slots. One is for weapon and offhand, another one is for armor, the third one is for accessory, jewelry, or whatever. This game allows you to to apply a rune to any of the slots that you have. So you could either loot a rune. So for example, this is the rune that I've looted, the lesser rune of critical thorns. These are a lot generic one. You can have the lesser rune of challenger's charm as well. This one I extracted it, by the way. You can have lesser rune of scorching blaze, for example. So there's quite a few kind of runes that you can loot on, just by playing the game. But however, if you got an item like this one here, Illumin, is the orange affixes Holy Light, Open Heavens, and Divine Salvo deal extra damage. Now that is pretty cool, and that is something that I really want to extract it and use it. So I'm going to do a live demo here, how I do that. So I could do that, extract it, and apply it to the item that I've got. Now the only rule is that you can't apply the same rune to the same item, so it doesn't double up the effect, and you can only do one. So you cannot do it again, meaning that once you make the decision has to stay, and it will stay with you of the item. So you cannot change your mind after that. So that's the only thing about it. So I'm going to extract this one. Now this one is not a true legendary, so you can see that it is called a lesser rune. There are true legendary like this one here, right? So Art of Combat, this is a true legendary. So I can actually extract it and become a greater rune. Now for the whole entire character of 8 slots, you can only have 3 greater rune. That is because otherwise you probably get too powerful. But 3 greater rune and the rest of it, the 5 lesser rune is what you can have maximum. So imagine Kanai Cube's only 3 slot. This one is applied for everything. So suddenly the thing becomes quite interesting. So I like to give it a shot for Art of Combat as well as the Illumine. So let me just give it a shot here to show you guys how you extract it. So to extract it is quite straightforward. This is to apply. This is to create. To create, you need the champion's crown to create. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to say bye bye to this item. This is the let me just move things around so that I don't get confused myself. So I'm going to extract this guy with the rune itself. This is the rune stone. Rune stone is also dropped from the Rift version or Anomaly, they call it in the game. Each time you run, they depend on the difficulty level, they give you 1 rune. So I run quite a number of them. I use like quite a number of them as well. So I can extract this guy here. I put a crown there, and then you transmute, and this become the rune that become a lesser rune you can apply to your weapon. So that's one. Another one I would like to show you is the Art of Combat. I'm going to say bye bye to this guy because I need the set of Ailas. Then I have the rune stone as well as the spell codex, and then I nope, not this one, sorry. Sometimes I get a little bit confused. The rune stone, sorry, and the crown, and then I transmute it. All right, so I got 2 of them. Now to apply that is pretty straightforward. So you could apply it with the. So that is the recipe here. To apply is just to just another crown and the rune and the item itself. So let's do it. I'm going to apply this one. Quite interesting. This is the only for offhand, so I'm going to do it here, and the offhand is this one here, and then after that I put a crown. Now the offhand name right now is called Aila's Wisdom, but once it's being apply a rune stone to it, then it changes to Combat Aila's Wisdom. So now you can see that the Art of Combat, the GR is not Greater Rift, is the greater rune being applied to it. So I've got an extra property against the items that I have. So that's what it does. Let me finish off with another one, which is the Illumine, and then I need this one applied to sword. So I've got a sword here, and then after that I put a crown there as well. Let's do it. So this is called the Aila's Wheel, and then after that, guess what? It's called the Illumine Aila's Wheel. So it's interesting. Things get mixed up a little bit, but it means that the RR is lesser rune, that my holy light and so on and so forth become more powerful. Now, after you've done that, that's not the end, of course. So what you need to do you can go enchanting. I'll do another video to make this even more powerful. This one here, the 18% is not a maximum. You can actually push it to really high. Well, not really high, but higher. So this, orange text here, the Holy Light, Open Heavens, and Divine Salvo, you can use the Enchantress, the ancient one at least, to give the boost up to really, really good kind of like a value. And same as the one that I've just added in for this, the Art of Combat. I think the maximum is 4 or 5 directions, so I can actually push it up as well. So I'll do another video on how to do that. So with that said, that concludes the entire recipe. Now there are 2 more hidden recipes as well that they never tell you. So if you play this game, you know that you loot some items, say one of the 6 mysterious elemental stones, the Thunderstone. So what happened is that if you collect Thunderstone, Froststone, Firestone, Poison Stone, Holy Stone, and there's one more I can't remember. If you put it into the Transmutation, all 6 of them, the 6 mysterious elemental stone, if you transmute it, it become a legendary called Elementium Stone. Elementium Stone is pretty interesting if you do a it's more like a Tarasha build if you play the wizard. So if you play different kind of like a damage type, then you'll proc it, increase direct damage accordingly. So it's really interesting. Another one is that sometimes you get something like the like the light cap. Light cap is one of the 4 mysterious masks. So you have light cap, you have fright cap, you have like can't remember what other frost cap or whatever. So there are 4 of them. So if you put 4 together in the transmutation again, you'll get yourself a might cap. A might cap meaning that you can now have 2 ultimates instead of 1 ultimate skill. So that is pretty interesting as well. It gives you a different card build variety. So that is all, and I think just to recap, besides the set of transmutation recipe that you've seen over there, you could the health injection, whether I can show it to you or not. So the health injection looks something like like this one here. So you can have the health mana injection, which is MK2. You see this one here. This one is a result of me putting the mana injection plus the supply mana to it and boost into MK2. All right, so you have the mana injection, you have the health injection, you have the might cap, you have the elemental stone, and after that, you can transform all the rest of things, transmute all the rest of things I've showed to you. And like I said, this is patch 0.98.0. So as and when they got higher kind of patches and they add more transmutation recipe, even the secret one, I'll show it to you guys. So thank you very much for watching. Any question, drop me a note below. Bye.